Hello everyone, we are Dressing Alice and today we're going to be sewing our Cooper suspender bloomers. What you're going to do first is you're going to print your pattern on A4 or standard letter paper. Then you're going to cut around the black border of each of the pages and you're going to tape them together according to your pattern layout. Once you've done that, you're going to cut your fabric using the pattern. You're going to take out two strap pieces and pin them right side together. Repeat for the other strap. You're going to head over to your machine and sew the long sides of the straps with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Do this for both straps. Once you've finished, turn the strap right side out and you want to press flat with your iron. Next, you want to top stitch along the edges of your strap for a clean finish. Set aside your straps for now while we move on to the bottom of the bloomers. Next, you want to take your front and back bloomers and you're going to pin together at the crotch. You're going to repeat the exact same steps for the front and the back of the lining. Head over to your machine and you want to sew the crotch seams with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, right side together. Get out your iron and you want to iron the crotch seams flat on both your main fabric bloomers and your lining fabric bloomers. You'll want to take out your lining and your main fabric bottoms and you're going to pin them right side together. The part that you're pinning is around the leg holes, which is the U shape on each side. You're going to head over to your machine and sew the leg holes together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Make sure they're right side together. Get out your scissors and you want to add a few cuts to the curve of your leg holes. Just be careful that you don't accidentally cut through the sew line of the leg holes. You're going to turn your fabric right side out and then you're going to press flat with an iron. You want to fold the fabric in the middle of the crotch seam to line up the side seams. This will be right side together. And then you want to pin only the outer fabric together. Then you're going to fold the lining back the other way and pin the lining fabric together. So it will be lining fabric to lining fabric, right side together, and then main fabric to main fabric, right side together. By this step, your fabric will look like a big square with your side seams pinned, and there will be a hole in the middle. Then head over to your machine and you're going to sew the side seams together with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Turn your bloomers right side out and then you're going to iron flat. They should start to resemble shorts by this step. Next, you want to top stitch around the leg openings as close as possible to the edge. You are sewing the main fabric to the lining in this step. Now we're going to sew a line so we can insert our elastic. You want to sew a line 3/8 of an inch away from each of the leg holes, top stitching, and you want to leave a little unsewn hole at the side seams so we can insert the elastic. You're going to cut a piece of 1/4 inch elastic according to the leg row of your elastic chart on your pattern guide. You're going to attach safety pins to each ends of your elastic. Then you want to attach one of the safety pins right outside the hole between your lining and your outer fabric and insert the other end into that casing. You're going to thread that through. You want to overlap the two ends of your elastic and sew down the middle of them. Then you want to sew the hole closed on the side of your bloomers and repeat for the other side. Get out your facings now. You want to sew the ends of the top facing together with a 1/2 inch seam allowance right side together. Next, you want to find the center of the back and the front of your bloomers and place a pin in it. On the back side of your bloomers, you want to measure 1.5 inches away on each side of the pin and put a pin in that. All right, so grab your straps and you're going to pin them to the back of your bottoms. The straps should match with the pins at the inner edges, and the straps want to cross over, so the back of the bloomers will have the slanted strap. Flip your bloomers over to the front, and at the front you're going to measure 2.5 inches from the center and put a pin each side of that. Now you want to pin the straps to the front. The raw edges of the strap and the bottom will go together. Tuck your straps down near the leg holes so they're not in the way when you pin the top facing to the bloomers. Take out your top facing now. You want to pin the seam of the top facing to the center of the bloomers at the back and pin right side together. In this step, you're going to be sandwiching the bloomers, then the straps, and the top facing. Head over to your machine and you're going to sew this with a 1/4 inch seam allowance right side together. Head over to your iron, and now you want to iron the facings unfolded with the seam allowance laying toward the facing side. Now iron a fold at the seams so that your facings are folded towards the wrong side of your bloomers and pin. Head over to your machine and you want to sew a line 1 inch from the top of the seams. Head back to your ironing station and you're going to fold a 1/4 inch towards the back on the remaining facing and pin down. Head back to your machine and you want to sew along the edge of the fold, but you're going to leave a little unsewn hole at the center back of the seams. This is so we can insert our elastic in the next step. We're going to cut a piece of 1/2 inch elastic according to the waist row of the elastic chart on your patterns guide. We're going to follow the exact same steps for the elastic that we did on the leg holes. You're going to attach safety pins to each ends of the elastic, pin one to the back of your bloomers, and then use the other to guide through the casings. You're going to overlap the two ends of your elastic and sew down the middle, and then sew the hole closed at the back of your bloomers. Good on you, you're all finished now. If you have any questions or need help, please don't hesitate to contact us on Etsy. Thank you.